Borders have existed for such a long time that people do not even query about why they are there in the first place. Borders exist to avoid violence. They convey to people on both sides that I don't agree with your worldview, but I won't kill you for it either. So it's better we stay apart, coordinating on only profitable grounds. And welcome to TFI English, the national socio-political analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Piyush, and in this video I will tell you why the BSF is set to increase its jurisdiction in certain states. South Asian countries are always criticized for not having porous borders like those of Europe and several other Western countries. The on-ground reality is that demography-related violence is rampant in the region. This is the reason why agencies like BSF that handle the responsibility of border protection need to have more inspection radius. According to a report by the Bhaskar, the Yogi and Hemanta governments have sent formal requests for the increase in the range of BSF patrol in their respective states. Both UP and Assam want the force to have jurisdiction over the radius of 100 kilometers inside Indian borders. Currently, BSF can only inspect suspicious activities within 50 kilometers of Indian territory. Even this power was accorded to the BSF by the Modi government just last year, when it increased the radius from 15 kilometers to 50 kilometers. According to state police and security agencies, the primary reason for the latest recommendation is the increase in Muslim population along the border areas. In the areas along the border, the Muslim population has increased by 32% since 2011. How much is it? Well, for the context, it is more than double compared to a 10 to 15% increase in rest of India. Pilibhit, Khiri, Maharajaganj, Balrampur and Behraich are the main districts of UP affected by rapid increase. In over 116 villages, the Muslim population comprises more than 50% of the whole, while in other 303 villages, they make up for 30 to 50% of the population. Expectedly, the number of madrasas and masjids has increased by 25% in the last 4 years. In Assam, districts like Dhurbi, Karimganj, South Salmara and Kachar are most affected by the phenomenon. It is no secret that in 1947, the Indian subcontinent was divided on the basis of religion. However, against the expectation, the division did not bring in the desired result for both religious factions. On one hand, Muslims were subjected to genocide by their own community members in East Pakistan and many other places, while on the other hand, Islamists kept trying to bleed India with 1,000 cuts. For the purpose, the Pakistani state and its supportive terrorist organizations have been funding radicalism in India. To get Indians on their side, they cite Global Islamic Brotherhood and try to entice them to participate in jihad. Incentives include a bit more money compared to their current earnings and of course, a pious trip to Jannat as well. These fundings are mainly targeted towards madrasas and masjid bank accounts. These are the places where poor Indian Muslims take their philosophical, moral and spiritual lesson. In the name of religious teachings, these institutions have often been found teaching poor Indian Muslims that India is not the state that they should give their allegiance to. Over the year, various governments have taken steps to improve the scenario. For instance, in May this year, Yogi Adityanath government made it mandatory for madrasas to sing national anthem. Earlier in 2018, MP government had asked madrasas to hold Tiranga rallies and sent video evidence to state officials. This came after the UP government passed the similar orders a year before. The increased surveillance is probably the reason why more and more people began infiltrating the border areas. Most likely they are illegal aliens who made their way into Indian territory by either bribing local officials or through land jihad. In Assam, it is also a possibility that people who were caught red-handed by the National Register of Citizens Act decided to internally migrate and settle in those areas. Whatever may be the reason, the risk of radicalization is always there, because most of these people are not economically sound. They can be easily lured into engaging some anti-national activities by radicals operating both inside as well as across the borders. Unfortunately, the state police are not capable of eliminating these elements on their own. Moreover, the assimilation of these people among commoners is another hurdle that the state police have to deal with. BSF also faces these hurdles, but to a lesser extent.